A very good morning to one and all. I'm pleased to welcome you all for one day national level webinar on the topic Developing Strategic Vision for Career Plan, organized by Rani Publishers. Now, I would like to take an opportunity to welcome our resource person, Mrs. Poonam Singh. She has graduated her MSc Applied Microbiology in MCC Chennai. She has completed her executive program in sales and marketing from IIM Kolkata. She has a rich experience of about 9 years in healthcare IVD industry. Currently, she is working as senior key account manager at Auto Clinic Diagnostics based at Telangana. Now, may I request our dynamic resource person, Mrs. Poonam Singh, to take over the session. Over to ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, thank you for the introduction, Steffi. So, good morning, everyone, and fantastic to see nice participation on this Sunday morning. So, welcome everyone. So, let's start the session. Yes, so for next 60 minutes, you all are going to be with me, and we are going to talk about a very important and significant part of our life. Yes, it is significant part of our life because that much importance it carries for us. And one more very important point which I would like to mention over here is that especially for the students, also for those who are in their early stage of their professional career, that as we know the current situation which is there, the situation of the pandemic and the chaos of locking down and unlocking of phases. So there are certain things which are on hold. Some of the sessions are on hold, some of the exams, results are on hold. There are a lot of chaos. So does it create a worrisome situation? The answer would, everybody would say that definitely yes, it is. But I would like to say that in spite of having this uncertainty and vulnerability, what I want to make assure here, or I want to focus your attention to the positive side of it, that this is the time where it's the time for us to make use of it for our self repair. Now what does that mean? I will come to my slides, then you will come across those things, because to deal with this kind of uncertainty or vulnerability, we should definitely have a strategic vision for the career plan. And if we are able to equip ourselves, and if we are able to upgrade ourselves with the current situation, then definitely a bright and a flourishing future is there, which is waiting for us. So let's start now. So as the topic is developing strategic vision for career planning, so I would before I go ahead, I would just like to show you what all important topic which is there, which I'm going to cover in this today's presentation. So the first thing is what is career. We'll talk about that. Then what is career planning and its importance, individual career planning processes, and individual career strategies. Job or a career, or you would say that both are one on the end, it's the same thing, but technically there is a minute difference between these two. And what is that? I would just like to share that. So the job is something which we do for our income, for it is the work what we do. But a career is something you do for a lifetime. It's more than making money. It's actually following your passion. Most of your waking life at work, it is very critical that you find satisfaction in what you are doing. For many people, however, creating and cultivating a fulfilling career is paramount. In addition to satisfaction, a successful career provides the potential for financial reward, recognition as an expert, and opportunities for expansion and personal and professional growth. Isn't it? So that is what we all wanted in our life, professional and personal growth. So if you are not sure what you want in career, in beginning of our career or academics, many of us will not know that exactly what we want. So it's very common. It's not that new. Some people don't know and some people know everything, but it's very common. By and large, many people will not know what they actually want in the career. So then let's proceed further. So I would like to start with a small question, which is, anything which is important for us. How do we choose that? I would take you through a small example. Let's say that, we want a gadget. Let's say we want a laptop. What do we do first? First, we identify the need. So now I need a laptop because so many online classes are going on, so many projects I have to do. So now I should have a personal laptop which will, help me. Then we do that need analysis, that if I have a laptop, how it is going to help me or benefit me in my day-to-day activities. So we do that need analysis. Then we convince. Now, whom we convince? If we have to, ask our parents for that laptop, then we have to convince them. Or if we have to invest our own money, still we have to convince ourselves that we need it, so we have to go ahead about it. Then we go ahead and find out different features of different available models in the market. We look forward for different configuration, model, sub-model and features, and then we look at our budget and we reach a point where our budget and our need, it comes to a equivalent position. So if our budget meets our need or meets our budget, then we take we select some points and we come to a pre-selection options criteria where we will have one or two options in our hand. Now how do we go ahead further? So further what we do, we go through the reviews and performances of the models. How do we do the review of performance? So we do it either in a two way. So if we know somebody who is already using that model, we try and ask them what is their feedback, what is their experience of using it, what are their drawbacks or advantage. If we don't know anyone, then what we do, we search it on Google. And then after doing all these analysis, we come to a final conclusion and we buy that. Isn't it? So friends, tell me, the kind of thought process we put in buying a laptop for us, do we keep same kind of thought process in choosing a career? So how we just take subjects after 10th? Usually it used to happen before, but now scenario has completely changed because that doesn't stand valid now. So usually it used to happen that after 10th we take subjects based upon our marks. If you have X percentage category of marks, that student will go and take science. If Y percentage category of marks, then commerce, and so on and so forth. So that is how it used to happen, but now it's very old methodology and approach, and things have changed a lot now. More awareness have definitely come, and so we should definitely have a proper planning and strategies in hand, because that brings stability to our mind, and also it helps us to keep focus on a right direction, right path. One saying is there that if there is something which is without plan, it's just a wish, and if wish it will get fulfilled or not, it's a question mark. So to convert that wish to reality, some processes should definitely be there to be followed, and definitely that wish can become the reality. So let us go deep in what is the meaning of career. So as we all know, for a general this thing that study and academics, we all complete at the age of 22 to 28 years, and then retirement 60 years. I'm talking about generally it happens, isn't it? So the between years of 30 to 40 years is the time period where we all work. So 30 to 40 years of our life is really very, very important and significant. We should definitely think deep about it so that it can become fruitful. So we all wake up with 24 hours in our hand, no less, no more for anybody. It's all 24 hours. Then out of that 24 hours, 14 hours we work, and then so we call it work is nothing but our life, and life is nothing but our career. So if we think about career, we have to think about our work, we have to think about our survival, we have to think about that 14 hours per day which we are putting in, and that 14 hours we are putting it for 40 years. So it's life. So 85% of our life we spend on career. So what is career planning? So career planning is not a one step or one time thing. It is an active, ongoing and lifelong process, more than just a job or series of job responsive to other life roles. Career planning consists of activities and actions that you take to achieve your individual career goals. So importance of career planning. So if we have good set of career planning in hand, it helps us enter a good workplace. It helps us plan our education. It helps us deal with changing workplace demand. Yes, so workplace, wherever we work, it is not the case that the situation and scenario will always remain the same. With the same kind of skill set we can excel. No way. We have to have a proper planning so that we can deal with and we can anticipate the trend or changes, and accordingly we should be able to plan for the upgrade or maintain our skill. So plan for career advancement also, we get help from this career planning. For individuals, the process of career planning helps the individual to have the knowledge of various career opportunities and priorities. This knowledge helps them select the career that is suitable to their lifestyle, preferences, family environment, scope for self-development, etc. So individual career planning processes. What are those processes? So very first thing is self-assessment. Yes, it is very important that we should be able to do self-assessment. It looks to be very difficult, but in my coming slides, I would just show you a few things. How can we do this self-assessment for ourselves for better career planning? Then academic career options we choose, and then relevant practical experiences. Yes, it counts a lot. Having relevant practical experience, it really matters. And then job search. So these are the steps for career planning processes. We will go one by one in each step. So let us talk about self-assessment. So self-assessment is nothing but aware of interrelationship between self and occupational choice. So it starts by learning interest, abilities, skills, and work values. Individuals who are trying to choose a career often wonder if they can take a test that can tell them that what occupation is right for them. But unfortunately, there is not a single test that will magically tell us what do we want to do for the rest of our life. So there are a combination of self-assessment tool, however, which helps the decision. So it is listing accomplishments, understanding physical and psychological needs. So we majorly talk about interest, ability, values, and personality. It comes under self-assessment part. So if we talk about values, so values are possibly the most important thing to consider when choosing an occupation. If you do not take them into account when planning your career, then there is a good chance that you will dislike your work in later phase, and then the dissatisfaction comes over there. So therefore, because I'll give you one example. Suppose if somebody prefer autonomy, and then that person would not be happy in a job where he or she can't be independent. So that's much important. The value is we should know our value. So there are two types of values: intrinsic, which are related to the work itself, what it contributes to society, and extrinsic value that includes the external, such as physical setting or earning potential. Then we talk about interests. So interest is what we enjoy doing. Either it's playing or taking long walk or hanging out with friends. Anything, any interest. We should also be aware about what is our interest. And then personality. A personality it's the person's trait, motivational drives, needs, and attitudes. The way individuals choose to do things makes up people's personality. So there are certain categories by which the analysis has been done that what type of personality a particular person has. It's like extroversion or introversion. It is like how one energizes, sensing or an intuition, how one perceive information, thinking and feeling, how one make decisions, judging and perceiving, how one live his or her life. So one preference from each pair makes up an individual personality type. So there are some personality theory. Myers-Briggs type indicator, MBIT, is one of that, and that helps people to choose career. So I'm not going so deep about this because it is again another kind of chapter. So then coming forward, aptitude. Now the activities you are good at, such as writing, computer programming, teaching. So they are all they can be natural skill or once acquired through training and education. So we should not be worried if some skill set is required for something but we do not have that. So it can definitely be acquired through any training or education. So natural skills and acquired skill set both are important. Now coming to another important point which says factors that needs to keep in mind while choosing career. What are those factors? So first thing is detailed research. Now what is that detailed research? That detailed research of all the streams. Before just blindly going ahead to take any streams, we have to have a detailed research of all the available streams which are there. We should have a proper career chart in our hand to explore different career options, and then we should have following question in our hand with the answer. What are those questions? Like any occupation or any profession you think of taking or you are in, you have to know what are the job profile, what is the nature of work, what is day-to-day activities, what is the skill set requirement for that, and what is the earning potential. So these set of questions definitely you should be there available with you before choosing particular thing. Then moving ahead, understand your natural thrust or natural inclination. Now to make you understand what is this natural thrust or natural inclination. So natural thrust, if I can explain you with one example, like so what is the natural thrust of a sun? So natural thrust of sun is to give sunlight. So same way for each and every individual like us, we are on this earth, there is certain objective, certain motivation, certain motive for us to be there available on this earth. So what is that objective and motives which we have to meet? That understanding, that at least close to that understanding we should definitely have. But the major question comes what? The major question is, how do we do that? How do we understand what is our natural thrust or natural inclination? So for this, I'll just take you through one small exercise. What I would request to all the participants who are available right now, I would just request you to please, for a while, close your eyes. Okay? Close your eyes and imagine any profession which comes to your mind. You can either imagine about a profession which you want to become, or you can also think about a profession which you are in currently. So just think about that profession, and also think one more part, that in that profession you are going to work for 14 hours a day or 12 hours a day, and that you are going to continue for 40 years of your life. Now, thinking this scenario, ask some questions to yourself. Now, what are those questions? Let me tell you. So the first question you should ask is that if I am working for 8 hours, 12 hours, or 40 years, some particular work, but I'll not get enough salary. I'll not get enough salary, but I have to work for 8 hours or 12 hours for 40 years of my life. In that situation, will you continue to work? Will you still want to do that work? That's question number 1. Okay. Now coming to question number 2. Question number 2 you should ask yourself is that you will get salary. Your expected salary you will get. But instead of 8 hours, you may have to spend 16 hours a day. Now in this situation, whether still you would like to do that work, would you love to do that work? So it's very important to analyze these things. So it is that it is not that exactly it is going to happen, you will work and you will not get paid. It is that scenario is not going to come. If you work in the direction of your natural inclination, definitely you are going to achieve. But to analyze in first place that where you inclined to, this is very important. So you check whether you have to work for 8 hours, but you have your work hour is 8 hours, but you have to work for 16 hours. You will get enough salary. Will you work that time? And the third question that you should ask, there are something where you may have to put money from your pocket. Maybe if you are starting something, you are planning for some internship or some of your own setup business, you may have to spend from your own pocket. So is that you are ready to do that? If these 3 questions is answered yes in your mind, from your brain as well as your heart, then that give you a conclusion, or it will give you will be very near to your natural thrust or natural inclination. So that is very important. So that we should definitely think about it. So now the second point which is there in career planning is academic and career options. Now investigate the world of work in greater depth, narrow a general occupational direction into specific one. So we know many things, in general way we know many things, but we need to narrow down to the specific one. And how do we do that? It starts by learning academic and career entrance requirements, learning related majors and career to one's interest, investigating education and training requirement, learning skills and experience required, and then planning academic and career alternatives, learning job market trend. So competency area strategies for gaining competencies gain, research and investigating skill, practice decision making, problem solving, critical thinking skill are very, very vital, and increase understanding of how ability, interest and values match career academic requirement. This is very important point. What we discussed during the self-assessment, the ability, interest, value and personality, those things should definitely match with our career and academic requirements. If there is no match, then it's very difficult. It will take time for us to get there where we want. But if our ability, interest and values is matching with our career academic requirement, then it is a bit easy. So read occupational resources, get assistance from counselor, talk to people who work in your area of interest, attend job, career fairs and career panels, transferable skills, that also should be gained. And then coming to the third, which is relevant practical experience. So relevant practical experiences is also very important. It gains practical experience through internship. So we know that whatever course we do, either MBA or MBBS, or if let's say lawyers, so there are some internship period at the end of the courses. So that internship is for what? It's for giving you the practical experiences. The 4 questions which I asked in the beginning, that we should have the answer. What is the job? What is the nature of work? What is day-to-day activity of that particular profession? What are the skill set required? So these are the questions which we come across when we go through the internship. So I'll also talk about something about career internship, which comes much ahead of this. That in my coming slides I'll talk about that. So right now this practical experience which is there, it's testing new skill and try diverse experiences, deciding the type of organization in which to volunteer, or work, assessing like and dislikes of work value, skill or work environment. So assessing if additional or different coursework or skill are needed for a targeted career goal. That also we should access, and if it is required, we should definitely go ahead to learn and to develop ourselves. Then strategies for gaining competencies. Attend relevant conferences and seminars. Become familiar with work setting and job descriptions. Practice making decision by supervising a group of people. Talk to alumnus and about their career goal. Work part-time or during summer competency areas, gain an appreciation. So understand and practice ethical behavior, gain supervisory leadership, teamwork skill, enhance self-management skill, and develop conflict resolution skill. These skills is really going to help you run in a long way. And then we go to a 4th step, which is job search, which very well we know that it starts with learning how to prepare our resume or cover letters. That is first thing which we should be knowing. And then complete employment application, learning and implementing job search strategies, learning and practicing interviewing skill, narrow your choices, ability correspondent in a coherent professional manner, and communicate verbally in a clear, concise manner. So effectively use networking, problem solving and decision making to reach career goal. Now here the word networking which I am saying is really very important, because it helps you in many ways. So networking is something where if you find that, if you feel that the one door is getting close to you, but if you have a good networking, if you have good contacts, then the door, if one door, even though if it is closing, you will definitely find immediately the another door which will open. So don't miss any opportunity of creating a good networking for you. Now develop budget skill in relation to job search, travel and relocation strategies for gaining competencies. Register for career planning and placement services and review resume with career counselor. Receive referrals. So now talking about small, again, brief summary of what we discussed. So career, what the first thing we want to have is detailed research. Now this detailed research which is there, we should definitely take help for this detailed research. If we are not able to do detailed research on our own, we should take help. Now with whom we have to take help? So we can take help of our parents, siblings, or our professors, teachers, whoever we know, we should definitely take help of everybody. And we should meet those professionals whom we wanted to follow, or the profession in which we wanted to go. But once we meet those professionals, there are certain do's and don'ts. There are certain set of questions which we should ask and which we should not ask also. Now, what are those questions? So let me just give you first the view of that what are those questions which we should not ask if we meet a particular professional during our detailed research process. So we should not ask that should I choose should I choose this career, should I become this, or is this career a good career? We should not ask this question. Now what should we ask? That I will talk about later. But why we should not ask this question is very important. So suppose if we are asking this question to the professional, so if that person is doing that work out of his passion, and if his natural inclination, his skill set is matching with the work, then you will get lot of positive positive answers, and you may get influenced wrongly. But if so, you may think that okay, everything is positive, I want to go ahead with this only. So that should not be your selection criteria. Now if that person is working out of pressure, just by chance he or she is in that field, and their skill set or their natural inclination is not at all matching with what they are doing, then you may get negative answers. So then in that case you will get more demotivated, and then you, without thinking about your own natural inclination, you may not put effort, so you may get misguided also. So you better not ask these kind of questions, that whether this career is good, or the answer of this question is straight. Whoever you ask, no career is small or big. Every career has its own flourishing future. Only thing is you have to fit into that career, and with your interest and natural inclination, you are definitely going to rock there. So now talking about what you should be asking. So you should ask, to that professional, that what is the day-to-day activity which that person is doing. You should make note of that. What are the nature of work they have, what made them choose that career, and what is the possibilities, and what are the skill set required for that career. And you should match, you should have note of all these questions with you. You should ask their skill set, interest, hobbies, and natural inclination. These things you should ask. So natural inclination, we already talked about it. Nature of work, career internship. So the process which I am talking right now is called career internship, which we do much ahead of going into any career. So after taking down note of all the questions, what we have to do further, we have to then match these skill set, interest, hobbies, or natural inclination with our own skill set, interest, hobby, and natural inclination. If it is matching, so if we check for 10 to 20 professional, if we check at professions and then we match, then definitely we will find a way that okay, our set of skills which are there is matching with this particular profession, and then we can come to a conclusion. So we should have a day of a career. Like if suppose somebody wants to become a cricketer, or somebody wants to become a doctor, or any career, let's say a banker. So they should have a day of career. What that person do in day-to-day activity, that information we should have. And then reverse planning. So now this reverse planning is what? So reverse planning is setting up our long-term goal. So if we set our long-term goal, our short-term goal which is there will automatically align with that long-term goal. I'll give you an example for this. Suppose somebody wants to be a cricketer. So they'll choose cricket as a profession, and then they will subdivide into, they want to be a bowler or a batsman. They'll choose that. And then they want to be part of, Indian cricket team, let's say that. So they want to gain name and fame. So Indian cricket team. So what the reverse planning is there? Now to be in the Indian cricket team, it is must that the person should be part of any, like Ranji team. They should be able to take part there, play there. And then before that, they should be able to be part of state level team. Before that, they should be able to take part as a district level team. So there are steps behind. So this long-term goal we set for ourselves and then there are various short-term goals which are there, which will come as a steps towards the ladder. So this all short terms will act as a ladder, which will take us to the our actual goal. So that's the reverse planning which is there. So after doing all this analysis, we can find an ideal career. Why we call that career an ideal career? Because that career will involve what you love to do. That career will be able to generate revenue for you, and that will also utilize your talent. If all these things are there, your talent and your you enjoy that work, then definitely you're going to love that, and you can continue that work even after your retirement. You can continue. That much enthusiasm you will get. So that analysis on self-assessment, study about your natural inclination plays very, very important and vital role. So now we'll talk about natural career strategies. Natural career strategies, which includes some steps. So what are the first step? So first step which is there is review strength, weakness, motivators and values. So developing career strategy is like constructing a building. So you have to start with a solid foundation and bit by bit work your way towards the top. So before you do anything else, you should need to analyze your strength and your weakness, as well as understanding your values and what motivates you. So start by looking at your strength and weakness. What do you excel at in a role you are now, and what skill have allowed you to shine in your previous role? Conversely, so what are your weakest skill, or what are the tasks which you find most difficult? These questions and this analysis about yourself you should have in your mind. And next, analyze what motivates you. So what task or project or role get you excited right now, and what type of role would you be motivated to work towards the future? What interests you about your current position and your colleague or your organization, and which responsibility would you enjoy that you don't already have? So that kind of future oriented questions or future oriented detailing about yourself is required. And the second step is, what is your edge over others? Means know your advantage. What is your advantage? So once you have a good idea about your strength, weaknesses or motivators, you need to identify your advantage. This is something that you can do uniquely, So compare with other people around you the strength and skill set or quality unique to you that will add value to your industry or organization. So it's important to know your comparative advantage, because using this trait or skill will help you succeed in your career. So one thing is there which we should definitely remember, that your comparative advantage is not always what you do best. It's something you are better at than anyone else. That's important. And repeat this. So this comparative advantage, the advantage which we are trying to find in ourselves, that what is our advantage, then that comparative advantage is not always what you do best. It is just something you are better at than anyone else. That would be enough. You don't have to be Guinness Book World Recorder all the time. You have to just identify your advantage, how you are better than anyone else. That's it. So if you are struggling to discover your advantage, because many of us, we do struggle, we always think, no, I don't know what is my advantage, how to find out. But if you are struggling, to discover your advantage, think back. What do you have to think? Think back of that last few performances, reviews which you have had in your lifetime. And has you been praised or commended for particular skill, traits, or successes on a consistent basis? We all do that. We all have those kind of praises and all. So we have to think about that. And if so, this might offer some clues as your comparative advantage. From there, you will get to know what is your edge over others and what is your advantage. Now the third step which is there is research possibilities and make the most and take the advantage of available opportunities. So whether you can see them right away or not, but I must tell you, there may be many opportunities for growth and advancement in your organization or in your current industry. But it's up to you to identify and make the most of these opportunities. So make sure that you stay up to date with career and industry events. Are there any upcoming trade shows or conferences that you would benefit from attending? You should keep on searching that. And the people around you can also help you identify those opportunities. For instance, an experienced mentor can help you enormously in your career, especially when he or she is someone that you trust and respect. So that is what I'm saying, that networking with all the people will definitely help you to find all the opportunities. You will not miss many opportunities which you may otherwise tend to miss. Now next is the fourth step which is there, develop skill, experience and expertise. So as I said, career planning is not one time experience or one time process, it's a ongoing continuous process. And with changing this market scenario, now we know that market is completely changing every time. Competition was there before also, but now competition would be more. So to deal with that, to deal with those vulnerabilities, we have to equip ourselves. And as I said, that the time which we have got in past 5-6 months was a time where many people have utilized their time for making themselves so equipped that after 1 year they are ready to go ahead and face or deal any kind of situation with their positive and their upgraded version of themselves. So version 1 was before pandemic, and now after pandemic version 2 will come, which will take over the things. So develop that skill, experience and expertise. And again, network. Why I'm stressing on this network? Why? Because networking is an important aspect of creating a career strategy. So after all, people can only help you if they know about you. To be very frank, which is why you need to get to know the people who can help you achieve your goals. So you can network in person or online using the social media such as Twitter, LinkedIn. These are the professional LinkedIn, the website. Or you can also be in touch with some of the important website. You can be in touch where you get a lot of information. I would say one example, Rand Publishers website. You can be in regular touch. Lot of important information you will get over there. So do that. That's very important. And then analyze current options. So we should not think that options or opportunities will come in future. As I said, you may not know, but currently also there may be many opportunities lying. Only the thing is you are not able to see that. That could be the only possibility. So analyze your current option. So what are your short-term goals? Is there an upcoming projects that would allow you to showcase your comparative advantage? so that you can shine in front of people who matters? And is there a challenging task that you could do to use your skill in a new way? And also you should look forward, is there any way that you can obtain experience? I'm saying this experience which is there, it's bring wonders. From any experienced person, if you take some suggestion, definitely it will give you so much of enlightenment in yourself. So that you should also look forward, is there any way that you can obtain some experience to analyze your current option, and see if you can come up with a list of options that will start you moving in right direction. Okay, so this is analyzing current options. And then last step is take action. Now by this last step, by this take action step, we should be able to answer some of the questions. What are those questions? So what are my strongest strengths? We have to put thought process behind it. We will not know all these answers just like that. We have to really work upon it. We have to really think about it. We have to give time to it. So since we give time to many other things, we should definitely give time to this, because this is what I said in the beginning, that it is 85% of our lifetime we are spending here. So definitely it matters, right? So what are my strongest strengths? What are my weaknesses? What motivates me? What do I do that makes me true happy? What are my top 5 values? And what are my edge over others? These are all points we discussed in my earlier slides. So what are my edge over others and what makes me unique? Because everybody is unique on this earth. We all just need to know about it and find it out. And in that findings, as I said, either you can analyze yourself and you can take help of people. Never shy in taking help or asking some relevant question which helps you grow further. And what knowledge, skills or qualification do I need to acquire to move forward? So as I said, that if we do the career internship in the beginning of career, let's say after 10th itself we do it, which many people do, but if by some chance we miss to do, and now we are at certain position where we have to really look back, and we are finding ourselves in a situation where our natural inclination and our skill set is not matching with what work we are doing, then there is no delay. There is nothing like that at the age after 28 you have to work, and after age at 60 you should get retired. There is no hard and fast rule on this earth. We can start from any point of time of our life, and there is guaranteed that you will get one day what you want. Okay, and then we also need to know who can help me advance and what options are available to me right now and could allow me either to use my skill in a new way or to really stand out from the crowd. So if we have all these answers ready with us, now we are ready to take action and start realizing our plan. So these are some of the individual career strategies which we should have in place. So life is sum of all our choices. Somebody's really said this right, that life is nothing but it is sum of our choices. So if our choices are right, we will be at right place. But it is not necessary that we always make right choices, because we are human beings. The mistakes are bound to happen. Sometimes situation, sometimes scenario, anything. So as I earlier said, there is no delay. It's not never late. Okay. So if our choices are made sometime wrong, There are every possible way that we can make our choices correct. But how do we make that correct? If we are able to do this kind of analysis for ourselves, if we are able to know our strength, weakness, if we have a smart goal, and those analysis if we have, then even though we are in wrong path or wrong career we opted, but still there is 100% chance and 100% guarantee that we can come over and we can achieve what we want from our life. So we have heard about that our approach should be smart. Now the new thing is our approach should be smarter. What smarter means? That S which is there stands for specific, M means it should be measurable, A is adaptable or attainable, R it should be realistic or relevant, time bound. T is time bound. That is very important. We should always respect our time, because everything passes, everything goes, come, but time, it doesn't come. So if we respect time, time will respect us back, and then magic can happen, and then E is emotion based and resilient. So we have to be smarter enough to be able to do these things to attain and to achieve our career goal. And if we can do this kind of analysis, one more thing will come to our life is the discipline. Because if we have this set mindset and we are able to proceed ahead with this, then definitely it brings stability to our mind, and it makes ourselves so much focused with so much disciplined way that nobody can stop for us. Like whatever we want to achieve, we will definitely achieve. So I think now at here I will end my talk, and with this I would like to say thank you to all the participants who are patiently listening and is there with me. And if anyone is having any query, they can ask, or if any query comes to you at a later, not now, then definitely you can write to us on our mail IDs which is there, and we will make sure that the suitable answer to your question will be posted to you back. It can also be posted on our Rian Publishers website. So be in touch. And so Steffi, here it's over from my side. So over to you, Steffi.
Thank you, Mrs. Poonam, for excellent presentation. Now the session is open for discussion. Participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute and ask, or you can post in the chat box. Or you can write to the mail ID which is visible in the screen later also. Madam will be happy to clarify your doubts. Okay, so thank you, ma'am. So now I am profusely elated to take an opportunity to say the vote of thanks. And on behalf of the Ryan Publishers team, I would like to thank the resource person, Mrs. Poonam Singh, for accepting our invitation. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants, especially the faculties and students all over from India. Thank you one and all. And the feedback link is posted on the chat box. Kindly fill the feedback form to receive your certificates. And those who are not getting the feedback form today, you can try with this link tomorrow. The feedback link is posted on the chat box. Please make use of it to receive your certificates. Thank you all. Thank you all the participants. Stay connected with Ryan Publishers. Thank you so much.